Somewhere between curiosity and chaos lies the graveyard of abandoned hobbies, where potential goes to rot. We traced the neuroscience behind quitting, uncovering how our brains respond when we give up before the finish line. We also laid out a plan, a blueprint to develop the muscle of tenacity, the part of your mind that allows you to push through when things get uncomfortable, when the easy route beckons, when resistance rises. But now, a new challenge has emerged for some of you. And it's subtler. It's more insidious. It isn't about struggling to finish tasks or abandoning projects halfway. For some, the problem isn't a lack of persistence. It's having too much persistence. Too many interests pulling you in every direction. You scan your life and see dozens of different possibilities, each one tempting, each one a piece of your identity. You are not afraid of hard work. You are paralyzed by the sheer number of choices. This is what psychologists and career coaches sometimes call the scanner's dilemma. It's perfectly summed up in the phrase, "I could do anything if only I knew what it was." And society, ever eager to label, has a term for people like you. A dilettante. Someone who dabbles, a jack of all trades, master of none. And here's the cruel irony: your curiosity, your drive to explore, the very quality that makes your mind fascinating, it has been reframed as a liability, a career weakness. And the anxiety it creates can feel unbearable. But here's the truth. What the world often calls a problem is actually your greatest hidden strength. Today, we're going to tackle that anxiety head-on. We'll dissect the geometry of a successful career in a world that no longer rewards narrow expertise alone. And we'll provide a roadmap for those of us who were never meant to fit into the straight lines of conventional career advice. For much of the last century, society celebrated specialists. The world was predictable, almost like a chessboard. The rules were clear. Success was measured in depth. Go deep into one field, cultivate a single skill, and you could rise to the top. Psychologists call this a kind learning environment, one that rewards repetition, where patterns are obvious, mistakes are visible, and learning curves are predictable. This is the world of the I-shaped person, the deep expert, the master of a single pillar of knowledge. This advice worked beautifully when the world was stable, linear, and rules rarely shifted. A doctor trained for decades to become a surgeon. An engineer focused on a single branch of mechanics. Depth guaranteed success. But today the world is wicked, unpredictable, complex. Feedback is delayed. Patterns are hidden. Problems are novel and constantly evolving. In this wicked learning environment, the hyper-specialist can encounter blind spots. Think about the difference between a golfer and a firefighter. A golfer practices in a kind environment. The rules never change. The feedback is immediate. Every swing can be measured against a standard. A firefighter, on the other hand, operates in a wicked environment. No two fires are alike. Every emergency is unique. The knowledge you relied on yesterday may fail tomorrow. Expertise matters, but it cannot guarantee results. Now, to be clear, specialists are indispensable. Their deep knowledge drives innovation, efficiency, and mastery in critical fields. The problem is not specialization itself. The problem is assuming that specialization is the only path. Treating a single standard as the measure of success can leave naturally curious, multi-talented people feeling inadequate, like failures, when their brains are simply wired for something else. If your mind thrives on breadth, the key is to stop thinking in job titles or conventional roles. Instead, imagine careers in shapes. Dash-shaped, broad, but shallow. A mile wide, an inch. Many scanners unknowingly fall into this trap, knowing a little about everything but mastering nothing. Anxiety mounts because there's no firm ground to stand on. The most potent shape for a multi-interested mind is the M-shaped professional, also known as the polymath. Picture it like this. One leg of the M is your primary deep skill. Maybe it's data science, design, or coding. That's your foundation. The second leg, another domain you dive deeply into. Storytelling, psychology, communication. And the horizontal bar? Your wide-ranging interests, history, philosophy, even hobbies that seem unrelated. Suddenly, you are not just a distracted technologist or a wandering creative. You are a bridge between worlds. You can transform raw data into narratives a CEO can understand. You can connect ideas across disciplines. That combination is rare, and in today's complex world, it is extraordinarily valuable. The power of FAR transfer. Here's the secret weapon of the polymath: FAR transfer. Specialists rely on near transfer, applying a skill to very similar problems. Polymaths use FAR transfer. They see underlying structures and apply solutions across vastly different domains. Imagine a musician who understands harmony examining a piece of software and recognizing an elegant structure. Or a biologist mapping tree roots and suddenly seeing a new framework for organizing a company's data. Every seemingly random interest you've pursued is not wasted. It is raw material for insight. Every note, concept, or observation becomes a metaphor you can draw upon. That's FAR transfer. That's the edge a polymath wields in a chaotic world. Creating this kind of career requires strategy. You cannot master everything simultaneously. It would collapse into shallow breath. Pick one pillar. Focus on it for a season, maybe 6 months to 18 months. Dive deep. Reach fluency. Not perfection. Not world-class dominance. Fluency, the ability to solve common challenges without constant reference to manuals. This first pillar provides stability and confidence. The anxiety of choosing this first pillar is normal. You are not deciding your entire life path. You are choosing for a season. Pick the one that energizes you, excites you, or secures your stability. Then pour your focus into it. When it is mastered, when your curiosity is satisfied for now, you can move to the next pillar. This is strategic quitting, not abandonment. You graduate from one area to invest in another, deliberately, purposefully. If your brain craves exploration, a day job that provides financial stability without draining mental energy is critical. Think of Einstein at the patent office. He had a low-drain job that allowed his mind to roam freely. High-passion, high-stress jobs may excite you, but they consume the cognitive surplus you need to explore new domains. A stable platform is not a cage. It's the launching pad for creativity. Scanners generate more ideas than one mind can hold. If you try to remember them all internally, you become overwhelmed. Nicholas Luhmann, the sociologist, solved this with a Zettelkasten, an external system of index cards linking ideas over decades. Eventually, this became the backbone for over 70 books. Your system can be digital, Notion, Obsidian, or even a simple notebook. When your curiosity peaks for a week on medieval architecture, capture it. Later, those notes may reveal insights that transform your work. A website design inspired by cathedral structures. A business strategy illuminated by a historical battle. A narrative informed by psychology. You are not a quitter. You are not a dilettante who lacks focus. You are a scanner. A potential polymath. Your brain is wired for exploration and synthesis, not narrow specialization. Pick your first pillar and focus. Use your job as a strategic platform, not a trap. Capture your ideas externally, so nothing is lost. Embrace the breadth that makes you unique. Mastery takes time. Complexity is uncomfortable. But knowing your brain's map changes everything. Self-blame fades, replaced by quiet confidence. You were never meant to master just one thing. You were meant to see the connections others miss and create insight across domains.